Well, thanks everyone for being here tonight. This is Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. You recording there, Liz? At approximately 6:30, please join us in the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Jesse Stewart is asked to be excused this evening. Approval of the previous minutes, please.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for March 5th, 2024.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for March 5th, 2024. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed of any? That motion passes. Thank you. No petitions, remonstrances, or communications. Business license. Ms. Burton. Yeah.
Hi. I'm just going to start an online business.
Okay.
So it will be through several different companies. I have started one already. It's just for art, soaps, jewelry, small trinkets, things like that.
Okay.
And I just wanted to start that. I'm doing it in my own home, so it's just going to be online.
Does everyone has a copy of her application?
I already applied for my EIN, so I'll be doing taxes on that every year. And I do have an EIN number already.
What kind of art?
Paint. I paint acrylic and then I just go get prints of it.
And it's going to be all online, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you won't have any parking problem or anything? So I make a motion that we approve Dacia's application for a business license.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve the business license for Deja. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed of any? That motion passes. Bingo.
Thank you.
Been a long time no see.
I know.
Okay, you have some bids in front of you for electrical work up at the public safety building. Anything we get done around here, we have to go beg these people to help us. Same thing happened over at the police department, trying to get a contractor, an electrical contractor, but we found, after advertising, we got nothing. We went out and begged them to come and help us. We have a bid here from Cripps Electric for $4,985, and we have one from ECI for $3,719. That's to power up the new pressure washer that's sitting there.
So there are two different bids?
Yep.
Okay.
I make a motion that we go with the ECI bid.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion to go with ECI's bid for $3,719. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. They're already up here. They're the ones doing the treatment plant, so it's kind of easy to get them to come over and help us out, at least with the bid. Let's just hope they do the work now. No introduction or adoption or resolutions or ordinances. Right, Liz?
Right.
Okay. So reports from council. Barbara Robinette.
First I'll let Kinsey talk about James. McCormick, he made us a replica of what he wants to do with his containers so we can get them moved and out of town. I showed you guys the last meeting where he wanted to put them. And then Kinsey's going to talk about what we found out about the tiny houses. We talked about them last meeting, and we have 2 different people that have contacted us now that want to do this on their properties. And so we need to get going on an ordinance. I'd rather have a tiny house than just have it the weeds that they are now in these lots. And so, Kinsey?
Okay, so James brought us in this little replica of what he's going to be doing. So from the hill, so from Denver, there's a hill on the back property. All you're going to see is about that much of it. 2 containers on one side, and then it's going to be wood on this side. Everything that is container, so this right here, and then the back, is going to be covered. You're not going to be able to tell that it is a container. He's guaranteed us, he said that he would come and show us exactly what he's planning to put over it. But again, from Denver, you're only going to see that top side.
All 4 sides enclosed,
All 4 sides enclosed. This will have doors,
okay?
so it's all going to be enclosed. And he said that within 30 days of approval, the containers out there will be moved. He didn't give me an exact timeline of when it will be complete. He said most likely 6 months.
So we're gonna build over them then, rather than build them for them.
So this is 2 containers right here. This is 1 container and another container. And then inside.
Okay, the containers are the sidewalls,
Yes.
with the trusses across the top.
Yep.
Okay,
So and again, the containers are not going to look like containers at all. And the top will be able to come off, the back will be able to come off, and then the containers move if they ever decide to move.
What about a foundation?
That, I was using this as the foundation. I'm pretty sure inside he said was going to be dirt. But these are going to be the main foundation. But
Are they gonna have a foundation underneath them?
I didn't say.
He's going to use the metal containers as the foundation of what they are. And in reality, we don't have any ordinances that preclude that. It's just like they're going to do, what do you have under your container? Dirt. Yeah.
He's going to level it out and then put those right on the dirt.
Yeah.
Where is this located again?
It's behind where his mother, so you know where
Christensen.
Christensen's lived?
Yes.
It's like the house up from them.
In the
So
back.
in the back.
Would it be behind
Where
Barry?
Joyce, where Joyce is?
No, on Denver.
No,
It's
For
gonna be
my
on-
in-laws.
On
Her
Denver.
brother, Dawn's brother.
Yeah.
Would it
I'm pretty
be,
sure his land connects to Mena's land.
Yeah.
so he has Dawn's mother's mom and dad's place.
Mhm. Yeah. And then his mother has, that's his mother. so-
And this is going to be in his backyard?
No.
or how?
Not in the backyard, it's,
They own quite a bit of property
They
behind
talked,
them.
we were told it was gonna be in the wash.
Uh-huh.
yes.
Yeah.
And that could be a problem, I'm still saying, because that wash every once in a while. I mean, when I grew up there, and there was boulders as big as cars that would come down that wash sometimes. And it- Remember the one community days that year?
That 1 year rains in the 80s?
That flooded really, really bad that time. So,
But at the same time, that's not going to be a problem for the city.
no,
Because this is
but
his
it would
property.
be a problem for the men,
No, we
maybe.
told,
But it
no,
would be
we
a
talked to
problem for the
Brian.
neighbors.
No, we've talked to Brian, and he says he had the Division of Water come down when they were doing all of their stuff, and they looked at all that wash and stuff, and there was not gonna be a problem.
Right now, it's gonna be, on that property, there's like a burnt down barn that still has some things standing on it. It's gonna be exactly where that barn was. So he's just planning to remove all of that scrap, level the ground, and build this.
And to me, that's gonna look better than that burned out one.
And where you're
Get 'em
only
out- Get them out
seeing,
of there.
Uh-huh,
and you're only seeing the top
yeah.
third of the building from Denver.
And I've seen this done before, and it works out beautiful. They put the trusses across 2 of them.
Some of them houses on TV are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that.
You can't even tell that the houses are containers.
One that's done really, really well is when you're going out to the airport on where the new
Right.
Price dog pound is.
Yeah.
They did one right there,
Mhm.
and the main structure is 4 containers. And it's not gonna affect me at all, but I think it's a good idea.
That's the way the shop is out of Wildcat.
Yes, yep.
And I think it'll look, I personally think that it'll look really good, plus it gets the containers off right there.
Yeah.
And he promised me as soon as I let him know if it's approved, 30 days. And I can tell you, I will be on him to get it moved in 30 days.
Everybody needs to know that Kinsey's part of planning and zoning.
Yes.
Kinsey took my place. So-
I'm chair of planning and zoning.
Well, that's why she,
Yeah. So I make a motion that we approve that James moves those containers and puts them to the back of his property and does this.
I'll second it, but on contingency that it is done in 30 days.
Yeah.
Moving the containers, okay?
Mhm.
And then how long is it going to be, does he say, before he gets that built?
He said possibly 6 months. And I
I
can ask
think we need to
for,
have a hard date, because
Yeah, that's way overdue.
how long is that set there? We
And
give
I mean,
him
I
And
can
we've
call
been really
extensions.
good about it.
yeah, and I can call him tomorrow just to verify when, 30 days, he said he'd have the containers moved. And then after he has the containers moved, how long it's gonna
How
be.
about if I
before-
change my second to say that on the contingency that he moves it within 30 days and they are completely done in 6 months,
Okay.
as per that plan.
Okay.
I like that better.
okay. That's your motion now?
That's my second.
That's the,
We just changed my motion.
Yeah.
okay,
The
so,
motion. So the motion is that we approve them to be moved within 30 days and he will have the rest of the construction done within 6 months.
okay, and that was done by Don. Got that, Liz?
Motion by Barbara, seconded by Dawn.
Yeah, but Don changed the motion,
Yeah,
so
okay.
let's go with Don's motion
I'll second.
and Barton's.
Okay.
Okay. Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, if any? Thank you, that works out.
Now tiny homes?
Mhm.
Okay, so we've had 2 people come to us wanting to build tiny homes. The first one is over on Highway 123, just past the old city building where that burned down trailer is. They own 2 lots right next to each other. They're gonna build 2 tiny homes, one on each lot.
Is one of them the lot with the trailer on it?
Yes,
So we'll get rid of that.
we'll get rid of the trailer.
Oh,
Their plans are to xeriscape the yard.
mhm.
It's gonna be on a solid foundation, it's gonna have the proper plumbing and the proper electrical. Barb said she brought the plans last time, it's going to look exactly like that. Vernal right now is creating a tiny home ordinance, which they have sent me, so that we can use what they're using, but fit it to our
Mhm.
city. And then the other one is gonna be over here on West Whitmore on that corner, where there's 2 lots and it's just dead weeds right now. They want to build 2 homes with a garage.
That's on the top of Whitmore.
Yeah, there's Timothy's and then
Bushes
the lot that Kyle used to have
Sure.
and then Bush, Mr. Bush's house. There's
So
2
there's-
lots
there's
there.
Yes,
two lots.
yes,
There's
yes,
two
yes.
There's
lots.
some on
Okay.
separate lots.
Yes.
Yes.
And we looked at the plans, they emailed me the plans, and from what they sent, it's gonna look a lot better than,
Yeah.
Half the abandoned houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vernal's, ordinance is really thought out. Permanent foundation, unless it's in a certain area, but we don't have to worry about that because we only have 1 mobile home park. Permanent foundation, all up to code, electrical, plumbing, that kind of thing. And I'm looking at doing the same exact thing. It must be on a permanent foundation, it cannot be on a traveling trailer. You have to have the proper electrical and the proper plumbing and all of that. If it doesn't already have it on your lot, of course, that's up to the
And
buyer.
they're gonna have to assume the responsibility for all of that.
Yeah, we
Yes.
told them that from
Yeah.
day
Pay,
one.
paying for it.
Yep,
Yeah.
and the people who want to start down here on 123 agreed.
Mhm.
So I think it's something that we should really do because we do have a lot more people coming in wanting to build tiny homes on the small lots that are available.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve going forward with the tiny homes so that When we get the ordinance, I'll bring it in the last meeting of vernal, but at least we can tell these people that we are moving forward with the tiny home ordinance.
Can we be more specific as far as the tiny homes?
Anything under 600 square feet.
Yeah, anything under 600
But I'm
square.
talking about, are we just making a motion for these tiny homes that just, that we're talking about, or anybody that wants to build a tiny home?
Each tiny home has to come to planning and zoning, and it has to be under 600 square feet. It has to meet the ordinances that we have already. They have to agree to have it on permanent foundations. They have to do all the plumbing codes. They have to do all the electrical codes themselves. And we will have an ordinance for some of these other lots. But these are the ones that we need to tell them, yeah, you can go ahead and, because these are homes that are all being built
And will be delivered.
and will be delivered.
So you're making a motion right now to have the tiny homes built on the lots that we just talked about? Not just a wide
Prefab though,
open.
right?
Prefab.
They're prefab.
Prefab.
Mhm. These people have
So they
built
won't be
homes
built on the
for
lot.
Vernal and Hurricane, all, Green River, they built some all over.
In fact, we just had a shed that qualifies as a tiny home brought to 2 doors down for me for Lisa Moore to do her dog grooming in. We went down and looked at it, and it is qualified, the size-wise, for a tiny home. That's that. And so we want to get an ordinance that we have on the books saying, okay, anything that is built as a tiny home has to have the plumbing, the electrical on a permanent foundation before,
So should we do that first before we make a motion to allow them to build? Should we have the ordinance first in place?
we will have to wait until the last meeting of April to be able to do the ordinance.
Well, that's my question, is there an ordinance in place already that allows for tiny homes?
No.
We allow for them as sheds or garages for that size.
But not
But we-
an actual dwelling on.
Yeah, but not requiring them to have plumbing and electrical to it. So that's why we're doing a separate ordinance for tiny homes.
So I would think you need to be very careful that your motion does not authorize these, whatever these people are proposing right now, that we're not authorizing those to be constructed before that ordinance is in place.
Yeah,
Okay, then we'll just tell them they'll have to wait until,
the ordinance passes. Might even call them to let them know.
Why is the ordinance gonna take that long?
because we're going to pattern it after vernals, and theirs will be finished and passed at their meeting on the 9th of April. To find ordinances for tiny homes, most of them are on wheels, so they can be moved, and we don't want to do that. And so we want to wait until we have an ordinance to pattern ours on, and Kinsey's called a lot of little places, other than the ones that are built specifically for homeless in Salt Lake and stuff. Those are about the only ordinances we've been able to find. So we'll just tell these people that they'll have to wait until after the end of April, and we'll have the
Don't
ordinance.
discourage them though.
No,
Okay,
no.
no.
They're very easy to work with. They're
Okay,
completely
that's-
understanding. In the meeting, I explained that we would, I'm hoping to create a tiny home ordinance. And he was very willing to wait for that.
Yeah, and we've got plans,
Yeah.
yeah, for both of them.
Mhm.
What about landscaping?
It's gonna be zero-scaped, all of them?
The two over on the highway, they are xeriscaping because they're gonna use it mostly to come and stay. It's not like a full-time residence. So they don't wanna have to pay someone to come water and take care of the yard. They want it easy maintenance.
The other ones on Whitmore,
It didn't specify in the email.
yeah.
This is the wave of the future, I'm
So
afraid.
is it a residential for them, or are they going to use it as Airbnbs, or? are
They
they
thought
gonna
about
use-
using it as Airbnb, but it's mostly for them. For the two people, the husband and wife who are building it, and then their son, Nick.
Get on board or get left behind.
Mm-hmm.
The weeds will have to be,
Oh, yeah, we've told them that. It
Yeah.
has to be.
Everything will still have to be taken care of according to the city ordinances, and they're all for it. They love that area because that's where the elk were when they just came, and so they want to be able to sit down on their deck and look at the elk.
Sure.
And they love the canyon right there.
Okay, then I'll call my motion and we'll wait until we get the ordinances and I'll have it back on the agenda for the last meeting in April.
Do you want to table?
Yeah, I'll table that. Okay. So I
Make
still
that
have,
motion to table.
yeah, I did.
Did
Did a
you?
motion to table it.
I'll entertain a second.
I second.
Second. All in favor?
Right.
Motion passes. Done.
Okay,
It's going to be interesting to see where this goes.
yeah.
Yeah, I like,
Mhm.
okay, then I
It is.
really think we need to get on the bandwagon and get an engineer here and make a subdivision.
Mhm.
That's what I'm
Forum.
thinking too.
I think it's going to probably be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
If
it
we
is-
make one for
they're
10
going
10
everywhere.
lots and advertise it,
There's a lot of communities, like she mentioned, that, Mackenzie, that like down in Hurricane, I know a friend of mine, North Dakota, that went down and stayed
Yeah,
a week.
they're
So it's,
coming up like wildfire.
from where we have 9 Mile, Clove, and the mountain here, I mean, it would definitely be a destination to get on tourist dollars. And we're so close to Moab, I know that I read that people stop and stay at different.
you'll
like,
never be able to afford a home again, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, okay, the next thing that I wanted to talk to council about, because we do have people in town that are making their home into a duplex. We do not have ordinances for a duplex, and it's a single 2-bedroom home. And in talking with planning and zoning, we don't feel like the small homes that we have in this area should be used as a duplex. They're going to use one kitchen and 1 bathroom and share it, and I don't think we want to get into that.
No, that's not.
And so I wanted to bring it to council. We'll just tell them that the council is not for that. They cannot do it.
But it goes along with all of these trailers and motorhomes that are in the yards that are using the same power out of the house and living in the yards.
Kinsey and I have gone around and talked to several other people and told them they cannot do that. They will be receiving tickets if they don't cease and desist, because it's against our ordinances. The only way that they can live in a trailer is if they come to planning and zoning, they're building a house or remodeling a house, then they have to be giving a conditional use permit to be living in that trailer, because they don't have the hookups, they don't have the sewer hookups, they don't have the water hookups. And so we have talked to a few of the people in town, and we'll continue to talk to the rest of them. It's not going over too well, I will tell you that.
I have a statement. When Sean and I lived out in Wellington, we had a cab over camper on a second lot, and then we had our 14 by 70, and Rocky Mountain Power was it that came out. They were gonna shut our power off because they thought we were staying in a camp trailer, and Sean was like, well, we were. I mean, we had just like a bunch of stuff in there, junk, so it may be bigger than just the ordinance here. It may be something in Hardin County. It's against the law.
Well, it's
with you.
definitely a
Policy of
fire
somebody.
hazard.
Yeah,
You know, and we weren't living there, but they came out to check to make sure.
I agree with you, Barb, that if you're fixing your house or doing something like that, that's
Temporary.
temporary, okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And we do have an
100%, yeah.
ordinance for
Yeah,
that.
okay,
So-
perfect, yeah,
We have given a couple of them over the years, but
yeah.
they can't just be coming into town using an electrical cord from the house that they're parked by, not having any sewer to it, not having any water to it. I've seen a couple of them with like 5-gallon buckets emptying their trailers out into the bucket. Who knows where they're
Where
putting
they're
them?
putting it.
Yeah,
That's
and so,
And so, Barbara, on that, kind of the same thing, but not living space. How about all these empty lots that are being used for salvage yards and parking tractors and trailers and Do we have an ordinance?
We have an ordinance, but it's up to the council and to enforce it. So,
Yeah, it's kind of a nuisance ordinance.
yeah, and they shouldn't have unlicensed vehicles there. I mean, years ago, we enforced it, and then it kind of got away that we weren't. So I think as a council, that's something we maybe need to look into again, find the
I think the
ordinance.
chief's working on the top 40 right now, so
Yeah.
so we'll be getting that list there pretty quick.
Yeah, so, okay, so, and then, I'm not done. So, Christian, every time I drive down First West going to my house, I see that burned out house. And as I'm more or less the safety person in this community, it scares me to death that we're gonna have kids going on that lot that has that burned out house on. And who's going to be liable if these kids get hurt? Because we know they don't have any insurance, and we can't get it in court so that we can get that turned down. That is a safety violation for the city. So what are we going to do about it?
We need to file our petition against this guy, against Marvin Brown, to get it done.
Okay, but we've been saying that for 6 months. When are we going to do it?
Well, I need to tell you, I've lost a deputy at the county attorney's office. So I'm down one deputy. It's a good question. We need to do it soon.
So we have 4 officers, and I'm sure that if you got the paperwork to them that it needed to be served to them, any one of those 4 officers could do it.
Well, it's not a matter of serving, well, it's more a matter of me getting the paperwork done than it's a matter of the officers getting it served.
Okay, can we have a date that we can look at this? Because now that it's warm and the kids are out playing, it's scary for me to see kids on that lot.
Sure, I get that. I agree.
Christian, did you ever catch up with him when he didn't appear in court the other day?
No, he doesn't live out in East Carbon, I don't think anymore. I've heard rumors he's out in Helper somewhere.
Yeah, he lives in
Helper
Helper.
House or somewhere. But he's missed court 2 months in a row.
What about the warrant?
Is there a warrant?
Yes, there is a warrant out for it.
So can we have a date?
It's only a local pickup warrant. Okay, so back to Margaret's question. She doesn't want to hear about whether there's a warrant. Let's make it, let's see, I can have something filed by Monday the 25th.
Okay. We'll look forward to that because we need to get that. We know the city's going to have to take care of it.
That's not the only house, though.
Yeah.
Monday, the 25th
What about Hauser's house?
of March?
Yeah.
What's that?
So what about,
Of March?
Yeah, Monday the 20th, yes, because Monday is not the 25th in April
Okay.
or any other month that and I did mean March. So I meant, what I'm saying, give me a week to get it done.
okay. So what about the house down on, as you turn Hauser's house, down on 8th? Are we
I
going to
don't know
end
about
up,
that one.
We'll end up doing the same thing there.
so we need to,
Who's the property owner?
it's not Hauser's.
What's her name, Liz?
I heard it just sold,
Oh,
so I don't know who the new owner is.
okay. We'll find out.
Is there a citation for it hanging out there? Do you know?
No, it's just sold to somebody. I guess they're going to come in and try to rebuild it. So we'll check and see
Yeah,
on
that
that.
one may take care of itself then, we hope.
Okay. So does anybody know what's going on behind Whitmore?
Clean up?
Is with the track hoe and trucks and stuff?
Yeah, that's part of the landowner. We heard rumor, but you're more aware of it than us.
Okay.
And we were told that they were gonna come and contact each person down through there. Have you ever been contacted?
No, but we were out in the backyard cleaning week before last, and they're out there with the track hoe and big trucks and stuff. And I'm happy if they're gonna clean
Yeah.
up along that creek bed and stuff, but
Who's doing that?
Who is doing it?
I don't know, that's why I brought it to council to see.
That
It's
is
Westridge LLC.
something else. Who is it?
Westridge LLC.
Westridge LLC?
Okay,
What would they be doing down there?
They own the property and they want to clean it up, is what they told me.
okay,
They were gonna contact each property owner to see if they wanted behind their house cleaned up. If they didn't, they weren't gonna touch it because they didn't want legal issues.
we haven't been contacting nobody that,
Is
yeah.
there even a road there?
No, they came across the field. They made the road. Because, I mean, we watched the deer out there and stuff, so
That field's not the property owned, is it?
it's Westridge, no. it's
Are they just
Westridge
cleaning it,
LLC.
or are they planning on doing?
No, right now, they're just cleaning it. They wanna get rid of the old junk cars and things that have been thrown back there since the 50s.
Oh, good. That's good for me.
Yeah, so that's all right.
Okay, yeah.
And Christian, you know I have one that needs to be filed. I need you to get on that one too, so. All right.
One more thing.
Well, on that one, if you want to talk about that one, I'll tell you about that one. That
No,
one,
no, let's not.
okay?
Talk to you later. Okay.
Okay, the two surplus properties that we voted on to be surplus, they were surplus to planning and zoning, and I have the numbers and I'll give those to Kinsey. But they're the two up on 123 down from where Jamie and Sean Bart live. Those two.
Yes, okay.
The old Preston house.
Yes, so they were surplus, then it's up to the council to decide when they're gonna put them up for bid, if they want both of them up for bid, or just one. And
I think we'll keep the one that has our infrastructure on.
just
And
put the one up for bid.
I'm okay with approving
Okay,
the one.
so the one closest
Of
to
course, up to you
them,
guys.
is that what you guys wanna
Yeah.
do? We approved them to be surplus.
Yeah.
Cody
So,
didn't have a problem. He talked about that other lot. He
mhm,
didn't have a problem.
he didn't have,
So,
yeah. So which one's the closest one? Is it the 54 or 55 pins?
Hold on, let me pull up our messages. It is closest to their house is gonna be 55,
Okay.
because they're
thought
on
so.
the corner, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 55.
So it is 1B-0502-0055. And we'll have to kind of measure and see the size of that lot before we put it up for bid. So,
Okay.
okay. And that's all I have is planning and zoning.
No, you don't. Go ahead and do Jesse Stewart's while you're there.
Okay.
Jesse's not here tonight.
Okay. So, we had a training a week ago, last Saturday, for the police department, the ambulance, the fire, and it was for peer support, and it was an 8-hour class, and everybody that came, the firemen were not able to come because they had firefighter 1 and 2, and the other ones that weren't here, but I think Sam will agree. It was an awesome training.
It was.
It was very good. The guy used to be a police officer, SWAT officer. He talked to us, did a lot of training on peer support. For the ambulance, I've appointed Mary to be our peer support head, and we'll find out more that she can do for training, and I think it'll be a big asset to the community, because she'll also be able to help others in the community when they have traumatic things happen and stuff. And so I was excited about that. Let's see. I have, usually for EMS week, we get a t-shirt for the ambulance people. These are our uniforms. And when we're on duty, we have to wear a uniform. If we go on a run, the hospital throws a fit if we don't have on a uniform. So these are $8.95. I buy them out of our EMS fund that we have, but I just need an approval from the council that we can spend that money out of our EMS fund. And it's going to be $161.10 plus tax, and it's free shipping. And so I would make a motion that these uniforms are a lot cheaper than
Then the fire departments?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, yeah, and so we get a new t-shirt or something every year for EMS week, and so I'd like to get those ordered. So I make a motion that we order the t-shirts at $8.95 a piece for the ambulance, and we have 18 of us, so.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second to go ahead and buy these uniforms at what?
$861.10.
$861.10, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed of any? Motion passes, thank you.
Okay, the next thing is I need approval to go to the Rural Directors Conference in Cedar City, and this is from the 8th through the 11th. The fee for the classes, this is on leadership, on grants, and this is for all of the directors, and it's $125 for the fee for all of the 3 days. The motel is $89 times the 3 nights, and I always drive home after the classes, and per diem, and I never charge the city per diem. I charge I'll do maybe one way down, and that covers my meals and my mileage and stuff, so. We're looking at, because I didn't figure out the per diem, but it's going to be less than $500 for the 3 days. So I need approval for that. So
Just for one, right? Is that what we're doing, or is there
just,
more than one?
no, I tried to get Jennifer to go, but she's going on a vacation in May, so she couldn't take the days off. This is just for directors.
Okay.
And so she's my backup. She's going on a trip in May. So it's just for me. And so I make a motion that I get approval for that.
I make a motion that we approve Barbara to go to the conference in Cedar City.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll second.
I don't want you making your own
Okay.
motions.
Yeah. Well, I'm Jesse, remember?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're Jesse, tonight too. Okay, I have a motion and a second to go ahead and approve this conference for Barbara. All in favor? Aye. Opposed of any? Thank you.
One last thing, I had a meeting yesterday. For everybody that does not know, the Bureau of EMS as of July 1st will now be under the Department of Public Safety. And so we had a meeting with all of the heads of the Department of Public Safety and went over our concerns, went over what it's going to mean for us as EMS, and met our new division boss, and I think it's going to be really good. They're concerned. Our county commissioners were there, and I try to push East Carbon every time that I go any place, and so I felt good about how they were willing to support us as a small community, and how lucky we are to have the ambulance out here. And every place I go tells us that. Some people have to wait hours for an ambulance to get to them. And so I'm happy that we can keep our ambulance out here, and I appreciate the community for support that we have. And so, and that's the last thing. So I'm not anybody else tonight.
And you can take mine. Okay, Don Logston, Parks, Cemeteries, and
May I interrupt for a few minutes right now?
no. Of course you can.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I just would like to interrupt before Don makes his report. I want to publicly thank Don for doing such a super job being a council member. After last meeting, I asked him if he would check to see if I still had the lots in the Sunnyside Cemetery. And he asked me if I had receipts. I do. And I took them to City Hall the next day, and Linda took copies of it, and I asked her to put them in Don Logson's mailbox. Well, Don called me about 5:30 Wednesday afternoon. He had done his research and had found out I did have the 2 lots. At that time, he hadn't checked his mailbox, but he had already done his work. I think it is great that he takes pride in his assignment of city council, and I again thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I'll back that up a little bit. It's nice to have someone that stepped up to take care of the
Yes.
nightmare. That cemetery, the old one, oh my goodness. It's a tough one. Every time we get somebody that needs to be buried there, my, it's a challenge.
I'll be a challenge. When I'm challenged alive, I'll be a challenge when I die.
I was glad you had the receipt, because most people, I won't say most, but a lot of people don't have receipts.
Well, I kept them, and I told my kids for the...
That's something that happened, I always use an example, and I talked about this. Shorty Nick, our little goat herder down here, he was buried in '73. He was not on the map. And there, and I've run into, I don't even want to say how many. So I have a thing here when I'm going to talk about that.
We've had to do test digs
Yes.
before we figured out what we were doing in that cemetery. It goes back a long time, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Okay, Don, sorry about that.
Anyway, okay. Thank you, though.
You are welcome.
Cody told me that we did get the bids in for hydro seeding.
Yes?
You probably know more than I do what the bids were, how much and
Yeah.
everything. I don't have them there. You got them there?
Yeah, I was going to give it to you.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe.
Did he give us another one of this? Because there's only 2 here. We said you
Yeah,
had
we
3.
got another one from Ward's.
Ward.
Okay.
Do you have that?
I can tell you how much it is.
I think I'll just hand these over to Bill.
The note was $16,000 from Ward's.
Okay.
Well, you can just read them out. But,
Okay. So Ward was 16,000, then, this is from Xeriscape, they're up price, 13,448. And, wow, this is Enviro Systems of Utah, LLC. They're out of Payson, and their bid is $6,046.
6,000?
6,000.
They're not apples, apples. They're apples and oranges, these. So, it's not like they're straight across even
Yeah,
bids.
yeah. But we'll take a look at them, make sure.
Yeah, we'll look at that. And Linda started on a grant with them today,
Okay.
so.
Okay, so I had someone call me and ask me, are we gonna do any summer hire help?
It's on my list.
Is it? Okay. Enough said. Monday, Cody and I, and maybe a couple guys are gonna make that trip we talked about last time, to go up to Salt Lake and get something really neat for the
Yeah.
museum. So I talked to the guy that has it
And I know what it is.
But I talked to the guy that has it, and we were supposed to be at his house at 9 o'clock Monday morning, so that's a go.
Okay.
Valley View Cemetery. Now that the weather's breaking, Cody is going to help me mark off all the sections. There's 50 sections in there, and I walked some of them and mapped them all, but there's a lot of work to be done still. But it's never going to be right. It's impossible to be right. We don't know who's where in places. And and there are rows of headstones, and the map shows a particular family right here, and they're actually on the other side of another family. So the map that I get done will be better than what it is, but it's never going to be perfect. It's never gonna be. There's so many people buried that they show on the map that there's absolutely nothing there. There's not even a piece of iron sticking out of the ground or rock or nothing. And I know a girl whose parents were buried up there. She lives in Australia, and they're shown on the map, and there is nothing there. And I am afraid to get a hold of her to ask her, did you buy grave markers for your mom and dad? I'm not going to do that. So I had to upset her. She's embarrassed that I did. So it's a mess, but you know, it'll be better, but it's not going to be perfect. So, but anyway, that's in the works again. Now the weather's getting better. Cody also told me we got a bid for fertilizing all the parks, cemeteries, and city hall, and that's $1,500 bid. And I don't think we're going to need that anywhere.
Let's get it on the next agenda list.
We did get the big Viking sign in the museum, and it barely fit on the wall that I wanted to put it on, but it did fit, so that's.
I'm glad you took that out of my hands.
It looks good.
Question I have is, I didn't get a hold of Gilbert, and Cody didn't get a hold of him yet. We didn't do it last week because we were supposed to get some moisture, we did, but in regards to the sewage lagoon that we talked about cleaning. So Gilbert's going to be leaving the 28th, but we did get to meet Gilbert's replacement, and I am confident that he will help us with it. If Gilbert doesn't get it done by the 28th, when he's gone. So I was shocked though that I was thinking that sludge, and that was, 2, 3, 4 feet deep. And that Russ Pierce that was here to talk to us, he told Cody it's only that much. So I guess the bacteria and stuff eat that, and so we've only got that much in there. Where that pond looks like it's completely full of stuff. We're just going to skim the surface when they hit the bentonite. So maybe it's not going to be as big a problem as we thought, or a big an issue. So
And take the trees and the weeds out of the middle of it.
yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have to. But other than that, that's all I have.
Okay. Liz?
I have a list tonight.
I can't imagine that.
Just a quick reminder about the newsletter. So if you guys have anything to put in, the 22nd is coming up soon. And then, Sam, the cleanup, do you have a date? Should I put April 1st for the cleanup starting?
Yeah.
Issuing citations?
Yeah, you can put April 1st.
Okay. And then the information that you sent me, do you want me to put that in there or just that we're doing cleanup?
I hate to say it, I can't remember what I sent you.
The ordinance,
Pardon me?
the ordinance.
That I sent you the entire ordinance?
Yeah, well, just for the cleanup. for
Oh,
the
just the
nuisance.
10-day
Yeah.
notice we have to get? I mean, you can put it.
Do you want me to put that or just that we're cleaning up?
Oh, I don't think you need to. I mean,
Okay,
they're gonna be happy that they get a 10-day notice, so.
okay. All right. And then, are we going to do dump trucks again? Okay. Should I put that
Starting after April 1st, if that's
after?
what the chief
after-
wants.
Okay.
We can start that.
And that's reserving a dump truck.
Yeah, so the first load is free, and then second load is, I think it's $65 a load after that. But we do allow one free.
And they just call City Hall
Mhm.
to reserve that.
Yeah, we'll keep a list and write down the work order for the guys.
Well, I haven't even thought about Harley.
Yeah. All right. I had Lisa actually talk about cleaning up the BMX track. And so we're looking at April 13th to do that, trying to get volunteers to clean that BMX track up. But there are a lot of weeds and we can't haul them off, and we can't put them in bags because it'll just rip them. Is there any way the maintenance department can burn those weeds if we pile them up, or how are we going to get rid of them?
How about the fire department?
I was gonna say, let them go training for wildland fire or something. They just had all of the hoses out and stuff. And it'd be a lot easier to clean up if they came and burned them all off and then,
Don't have a chance to blow.
Okay. So who do I,
Cody.
Cody?
And back to what Donnie was talking about, let's advertise for seasonal workers. We're ready to do that. Ages, Liz, where were we at last year? We'd like them to be able to drive if they could. So 16 to 18, is that what we?
We can, yeah, 16 to 18 preferably.
Will you write that little thing up for me and send it to me?
I have something saved on my computer,
And then
I'll
I
just
can-
email to you.
Okay, great. Okay, so, and then, can we get water for that day? For the 13th cleanup?
Well, the fire department will be there.
No, we don't want to,
No,
we want to
bottles
drink.
of water.
Oh, yes.
All the water you want. Make you money, but all the water you want.
Drink out the hose. Like we used to do.
Drink out of the hose, Funny.
So, is that drink out of the hose, or can we get?
We'll get you water.
Okay.
You need a chaser, use the hose.
All right. We already went over to community days, so I don't need to go over that again. Okay. Donnie, I had a meeting with Connie, and she said to give her a call because they do want to schedule kids to visit the museum. And then also, I serve on the Resilient U. I'm not a board member, but I serve on that committee. And it is, I don't know if you've seen the advertisements where Governor Cox has made March as Resilient U Month. And they want that to be in all the schools. And so when I met with Connie, they're going to have all the teachers do the program and then have the parents come at night and show them how to go through the program with their kids. They will provide dinner that night for the parents, but she was asking if we can provide a pizza party or a root beer float party for the class that has the most parents attend that parent night. And the classes are, I think the largest class is like 15 kids. They're small this year.
Yeah.
They have one class with only 9.
For me, it's a why not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you need a motion for that?
Well, it's not on the agenda, but we can
And we
see
get-
what everybody's
it'll
feelings
be-
are.
And that'll be in April.
Yeah.
So we
Put it on the
can
next
put it on
agenda. Put it on
the
the next
agenda. I just
agenda.
wanted to see if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Fuller Center. I was called to sit on that board, and it is a Christian-based committee, and they've kind of taken the place of Habitat for Humanities, where they build and they fix houses. And they're looking to do some things in East Carbon, but they really have a hard time with volunteers when they come up. And so keep that in mind because they do, and it's a application, but they do the work. And the work is free if they can't provide any income towards it, or they get a 0% interest-free loan for 5 years for maybe $1,500. And they'll do home repairs, they fix the outside, the inside, whatever is needed, and it's through application. And so they would like to, have the city help endorse that program, and that's it.
Why don't you write up an article and put it in the paper? It
I
goes to
will.
every house in town.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to put that in the newsletter because it's a great program for people that need help. And apparently they helped a couple people in East Carpet. But, and they've partnered with, is it Serta? The new building out by the fairgrounds?
Yeah.
And they do the same thing, except they have up to $15,000 available to help people with their homes. They can put in ramps for disabled people and fix, if your bathroom needs fixing. Right now, they're working on a house that a guy's disabled and his bathroom he can't use, so they're going in there and remodeling the whole bathroom. So it's a really great asset.
And that's the local association of government.
Yes, the one at the fairgrounds. Yeah, the Fuller Center is a different, it's a nonprofit, but they have partnered with them.
They're both county run?
No,
No.
Fuller is not a county-run program, but the other one is. So when they get the applications, they'll go through the board will go through the applications, and then, it'd be nice if we can get volunteers from our city to help if they come out to East Carpet. And then, let's see, is that it? Did you guys see where Ross Pope donated that scholarship money to Carbon Heights for only poor for only students for East Carbon?
Yeah, but look how much I advertised the ECDC scholarship we have only for students from East Carbon. And I beg, I call everybody from East Carbon that I know. I go to
They
their
don't
houses. I'm lucky if I get 5 or 6 a year.
Oh,
Now, listen,
wow.
Is that because they're not going to college?
A lot of
Just
them aren't.
started to do it?
Aren't
A lot
going
of
to
them are.
college or?
Yeah, they're not.
Oh.
Because all they have to do is fill out the application and get it to me. And, it's.
So is it
covers-
trade or is it just college?
It goes just for trade.
Equivalent to
Just
whatever
for
USU
college.
Eastern is,
Oh.
right?
Because I know
Yeah.
a lot of them go to trade schools.
Yeah.
So maybe that might be something to look at.
And it'll follow them for 4 years
For
or
years.
Yeah.
so.
But
Oh,
anyway,
I
I was
could do that.
thinking, we should, with people in our community that do good deeds like that, that's an amazing thing to do. We as a city should start recognizing those people and inviting them to our city council meetings and recognizing them.
Those that have taken advantage of this did well.
Absolutely.
So it's been.
Cody Hunt, he was the last one that graduated with his, he went all the way through.
Who was it?
Cody.
I can't believe that they wouldn't
I
apply.
can't.
And then we have another
imagine.
one that will do, she'll have her bachelor's this year, Logan Veterinary Stock.
Hannah?
Huh?
Hannah?
Yeah, Hannah,
Yeah.
yeah. So she'll graduate in May, but
And we
We have very
put
few.
it in the newsletter and
every time, in fact, I sent it to you, because I start in April and May, because they have to have their applications in by July. And then we do early, and then we do, it's each semester they can
so do you
qualify.
think they're not seeing that? They're not getting the information?
I put
'Cause I
signs
just
around
can't-
town.
I just don't think they're going to school anymore.
Yeah, I don't
School
either.
could be true.
In fact, I get a list of the seniors from up here, and I'll go talk to them at their houses. I know that there's some that are going to put in this year that I've talked to around town, But I don't know what else I can do. I can't take them to school and take them to class.
But it's only for college, so it isn't for a trade.
Well, you have the best.
You can use it for a trade as long as you're taking
Right there.
Yeah, you can.
And automotive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they can,
That would-
yeah.
What?
As long as
has
you
to
can
be
use
a
it for credit.
That's scholarships for college, you can use it
No,
for a trade.
any college.
As long as you're taking a full
State.
credit curriculum.
The money is equivalent to what USU needs to charge us.
Yeah.
Per semester.
So if they go.
No, they don't get, so I get $7,500 per semester. And that's divided up between the ones that we get to put in. And like last semester, it was like $1,200 apiece. It has to go to the school. They cannot use it for their own personal stuff.
Yeah,
So it has to go for their housing, their books, their,
so they can use it for anything at the school.
at the school.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I can't either.
That's amazing.
It's a shame, you
Can
know.
grandparents apply for
No,
their
you
kids?
have to be. And it has, they have to apply their senior year and start. They can't take it, go for 4 or 5 years and not go. If they go in the service or if they go on a mission, they have that period that they can still qualify when they get home. I mean, we've made it as easy as we could make it. And still, and then we have people that apply for it, accept it, and then never go to school. Yeah,
And they don't use it.
yeah. So then it's a pain in the butt trying to get that money back.
Oh, so the money goes before they even go, oh, wow.
Well, they can't register without that money there. So there's been times that Liz and I have spent weeks.
Right.
Yes.
From the school.
Yes. Yeah, because to pay for USU Eastern, it goes up to Logan and
No, now it goes to Seattle.
Seattle, that's right. Last year it started, and so trying to get the money back.
You're calling all kinds of different
Mhm.
departments.
So if there's only two, so all that money just gets divided for two students that
We
apply?
had 5 or 6 last year, yeah.
Well, that's good.
But it can only go to the max of what it is for a semester for USU Eastern. So I think right now it's up to 1,800, but we've never had just 2 we usually have. But considering that it's just for the kids in East Carbon,
And now we have two.
Yeah,
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So,
So anyway, back to, what do you guys think about that recognition?
I think,
It's a good idea.
yeah, but I think it's well past time that we recognize ECDC too.
Yeah.
For doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe, I think we need to recognize Gilbert for everything that he's done in there, and maybe at the same time recognize, maybe just give him a little plaque to say, hey, what do you think about that?
Or a certificate.
Yeah.
we talked about this.
I thought we were supposed to have a luncheon for Gilbert, and that would be a good time to do that for all that he's done for East Carbon. So
But I think we need to
we didn't
to
set a
be on
date
the
on that.
same thing with, for everyone, you know, give them a certificate or a plaque or a whatever. But I think, because we have a lot of people that have done some amazing things for the city.
And the power plant, the money that they dish out.
Yeah.
And we let Jerry Haskell and them leave before we did anything for them. They retired. Him and Rusty.
Well,
And
Gilbert's
then
about
just come to-
finished, you know,
Come to city
so.
hall, or city council meeting, invite them to city council meeting, and then give them recognition at city council meeting. I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, we have every indication that Chris is gonna be just as good as Gilbert was. But the learning curve, I can tell just by talking to him, is gonna be pretty steep, so. But I think he's gonna be more than willing to help us, and we help them too, so it's a good deal.
Okay, and then last thing, Donnie brought up a really good point. We were talking about the grant that we received for the archery range, and we have some things that we need to have built. And we were talking about, do we need to get bids for those? Since that is through a grant.
You just go, what kind of stuff you gonna have built?
We're gonna have a table built and probably a shed.
Is anybody gonna volunteer to do it?
Well, we're hoping.
If that's the case, we don't have to worry about anything.
If they volunteer, yeah, but if they don't,
Well, I'd say yes, but trying to get people to
build.
reply to your bids is,
So we'll do this first. We'll check with the people that we've thought about that would volunteer to build it or donate. And if not, then we might name it to get the bids.
keep someone in mind though, because you might have to drag them in like we do when they don't respond to the bid.
I've talked to two that I think they'll help us out,
Okay.
maybe together.
And we can lean on our city employees a little bit too, so, that's all okay.
Okay. Because I'm gonna start ordering the archery equipment soon.
Did you order your bid?
And then we need a volunteer. One of our volunteers, our young person that was going to get paid for the position got a job. So we're looking for somebody else. So if you have anybody that would like to teach archery to young kids, it's a stipend. I shouldn't say paid position, it's more of a stipend. That's all I have.
Okay. Chuck Beta, maintenance.
Okay, Cody says we're sitting at about 6 feet, which is good. The ice is melting and the reservoir is already rising. So that's a good deal. We've had some major sewer problems this week. And, well, I'll get to this last, how we're going to solve these sewer problems. The treatment plant, it's all cleaned up. It's ready for tomorrow, supposedly, that they're going to show up and start looking things up and putting the computers in place, and so it's going to be a busy couple weeks. I thought maybe she'd be there today, but not. But it looks good. I can't wait till everybody can see it. Okay, this sewer problem. The state is wanting to look at our sewer lines, and we have a couple of problems. Our evac machine is pretty much shot. We tried to fire it up the other day with these sewer problems, and it's just, and it's very, very expensive piece of equipment. We bought it years ago and it was used and somewhat helped us out for quite a few years, but right now we're zilch.
And what is that? Chuck, what's it evac?
It sucks the sewer lines and water lines and the water breaks. And we also have this inspection that needs to be done on all our sewer lines. The state is on us about it. We won't settle on any of this now, but just to let you know what a piece of equipment like that is, to scope those lines. We've got this one bid here for $112,225. That evac machine, I can't even imagine what a used one would be worth. We're talking about maybe having to rent a piece of equipment every time we have this problem. Because for right now, you can see what something like that's worth. we're not making any decisions, we're just tossing it around, but this is serious business.
We got that evac truck. We needed to send it off for repairs, and we got a bid on it for $5,000. It ended up costing us 20 by the time we got it back.
Yeah, it's not worth spending any money on anymore. If somebody would give us something for it, we need to let it go and, probably end up practicing on renting a piece of equipment for right now. And then taking a good look at this camera, because the state does want some answers. It's not an easy situation. So, in the next couple of weeks, supposedly we'll be up to the treatment plant and trying to do everything else that needs to be done, but hopefully everything goes well. It'll be
Are
nice.
they still online for the 25th?
Well,
Don't know.
That's probably part of the training process around the 25th.
yeah, it's
I'll get into that a little deeper. but-
it's close. It's getting closer. It's. I'm excited, but Dave has a few things on that, so that's all I have.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit here. There's a lot going on. Crack seal in Columbia is finished. We bid that out at 7 ton. It took 9 ton to do it, and they give us the 9 ton to the 7 ton price. We did fine there. And we're going to go out for bid for what do I call it? Keep calling it slurry seal. What is it really?
Well, it's a crack seal. It's a slurry seal.
So to finish up over in Columbia. And we're going out for bid to crack seal Sunnyside subdivision next. So that will be coming, and it looks like we're looking at 7 to 9 ton of product for that one. And we're looking at replacing another piece of asphalt over here in front of the maintenance garage. Chuck touched a little bit on the sewer issues. We're getting these big roots in there, root balls. One of them I saw they had in the back of the truck. It took up half the bed that they dug out
In the sewer?
in the sewer.
That
And
was one of the things he said to watch out for.
yeah, and Randy Wayman came in today, had his scoped right out to our main, and sure enough, another big root ball in there. We're gonna have to be digging that one up here pretty quick. Next door at the new police building, the electrical is just about done. Framing is just about done, if not finished. I think they'll start sheet rocking. The camera guy's been here and they've been installed. IT guy was here today, so we're moving right along with that project. The treatment plant, the people that are installing all the controls are up there, I think started today. There's some issues with the way the snow falls off the top of the building that it may hit power sources and cameras and stuff. We're going to address that. Merrill will be here Monday. And he's going to have the paperwork. Liz will have ours. We'll see how they compare, see where we're at, because there's still several things to buy. The furnishings, the furniture and chairs, desks and chairs still need to be bought. But talking with Merrill today, he thinks that's no problem. He wants to bring more rock in that mud bog up there. So that looks like that'll be taking care of itself. The skid steer piece of equipment, looks like there's going to be money for that unless we prove it different here in the next few days. And keep in mind, it's going to take $4,000 worth of testing to put that plant online. So, but we're thinking that'll come out of the grant also. I talked with Merrill today, again, this is from Johansson and Tuttle. Asked him if he was fed up with doing business with East Carbon, and he loves us. He doesn't get paid until the last day, it seems like. They went 4 years of planning and everything without asking for it. They just did it. And they finally breaking even right now. But I asked him if he'd be interested in helping us with the NCRS grant application. And he says they'll be happy to help us. That's for work to be done at the reservoir. And talked with the people from the NCRS. They seem to think they're going to lean our direction, so maybe we'll get a good break there. Have the power outage scheduled for tomorrow. It's going to affect probably all of this area, including City Hall, so it won't be open.
Will it affect me?
I don't think so.
Columbia Drive?
I've looked at the map a little bit. If the map is correct, you're safe this time.
Okay.
But if you'd like them to pull it, I'll give them a call.
So will Grassy Trail be affected?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. But we'll maybe be surprised a little bit on that. I'll notify dispatch in the morning that we're having a power outage so that if anybody needs assistance with their oxygen machines or whatever, we'll be able to help them out there. They'll know who to call. Linda is working on 5 grants right now. And Liz has a stack of bids that she's putting out, 4 or 5 or 6 of them in the next little bit. The police truck still isn't here. The police webpage, Chief, is all but done. Right?
Yeah, they're gonna, it's gone live, but they've had to keep going in to make changes, but it looks really good today, and they're gonna do a press release sometime in the next few days. They're trying to get it all done because they're gonna show it at the Chiefs of Police Conference in St. George on a screen TV in their booth. Try to drum up business in Utah. They're from Boston.
And we'll be famous.
And it's an amazing, he's done an amazing job, all for free, which totally blows my mind. I know it would have cost somewhere probably around $10,000 to $15,000 is what I'm hearing, had they charged us. And just so they could use this as an example, as a pattern for other police departments, small police departments.
Okay, Janelle and I tried to get on Friday and it was under construction still. So be patient with that. Like Chuck says, the water's down about 6 feet. Snowtail sites today, the timber line was at 35 inches and the corral is at 28. Starting to settle, starting to melt off. And Donnie did a little bit on the ball fields and the cemetery, hydroseeding. Linda's working on a grant for that one. The rec center, they're spending all the spare time they can up there working on that floor. We have a guy that's coming to look at one of the ambulances that may be interested in purchasing it. Trossel's grant has been submitted. So
Signals at 7:50 p.m.
that's on the Frisbee golf course or whatever.
Disc golf.
Just, yeah,
Disc golf.
and that was submitted Friday.
And looking at what the legislature has done, it doesn't look like that dispatch thing went anywhere. We were going to try to get them to pay for all the dispatch services, but it got lost in the system before they were done. So we'll be paying our share of that for some time yet. Chuck, we need to get the restrooms repaired, I guess, up at the park before community days.
Oh, and that the water leaks.
Yeah, I'm told about that. The restrooms, we gotta put that glass in.
the water leak down there in the swamp, that swamp area? Okay.
By the bathrooms and by the parking.
Yeah, we'll get a look at that. Trash cans. Oh, what a fiasco that's been for the last week. Anybody that had two, got them picked up, the second one. And during this audit, there was 324 second cans
Oh, wow.
that we picked up that weren't being paid for.
How did that happen?
But we picked, well, something, one of them blows down the street or something, somebody thinks it's theirs, you know, on and on it went. So when they pick up the trash, they count those that they dump, and numbers just weren't jiving, so now anybody that wants a second can is calling City Hall, and we'll be glad to take them back, but we'll make sure they're paying for them at that point. Okay, no old business, no new business, payables, anyone?
I make a motion we pay payables.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to pay, it's a lot easier nowadays, isn't it, than it used to be years ago? Boy, that used to be terrible. Okay, a motion and a second to pay the payables, all in favor?
Aye.
Second? Oh, second. Opposed? Thank you. We'll go ahead and take care of that. Barbara, since you're Jesse tonight,
I make a motion we adjourn.
I second.
have a motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.